If you have played the game for a little bit, you surely have noticed how different terrain types have different effects on your speed. So if I send my units forward a bit, you can see that the one on the road would go the furthest. Then we have the urban and the forest areas that are like a little bit reduced compared to the plains. And whenever you get to a river crossing, that usually takes a turn to cross. And if you have played a few games already, you are probably also familiar with that. This is not the only application of terrain. If I go over to the right, we can see how I set up a demonstration against 3 enemy artillery that are trying to shoot my infantry in different types of terrain. So if I just like start the time, you can see how the one in the plains get damaged the most. Then the guy in the forest absorbs a little bit less damage, and the guy in the urban area gets almost no damage. Alright, but so let's go over to some applications of the terrain types. So for example, in this battle, over here we have blue who already set up their artillery on a very nice position. And against them stands red, who is going to try to like push into the town and take it. However, because of this hill, red will have to climb up on top of the hill first before entering the town. And on that moment, they are going to be completely exposed to blue's artillery fire. So if I let this play out, you can see how blue will take a very significant damage on red, even on their artillery as well as they start like move in. At this point you might see that blue is winning easily, but so basically in a few moves you will see blue making a big mistake. Now as you see red's artillery arriving at the edge of the town, for some reason blue decides to stay on position. That is not a great idea, because fighting against an enemy who has proper cover can never end well for you. Now blue did start out kinda even against red, but now you can see how blue is getting worn down, and sure enough, in just a few turns, this will become even more significant. Red still has some more damage units, but they are taking way less damage now that they are in position, whereas blue is just completely exposed to the enemy fire. And look, one blue artillery down, and there goes a second one. And yeah, eventually blue has withdrawn to the forest. However, even if he withdrawn to the forest earlier, that may not have been a huge help, because if we go back to the demonstration map, we can actually click on these units, like the one in the village. Actually, go to the one in the forest first. We can click on the information button, go on the terrain info, and we can see how the forest gives you plus 20% projectile absorption. Whereas, if we click on the one in the village, we can see how they have plus 60%. That is a crazy difference. That is why the guy in the village gets almost no damage, whereas the one in the forest can be very much destroyed. Going on to the next battle over here, we have another urban fight, but this time blue actually tries to contest the village in the middle. Also, blue uses the forest to kinda cover their artillery. However, I really don't like these garrisoning. This is, well, basically Fred watch to like take their artillery and like shoot right in between these two units. They will be able to like damage both of them. So I don't really like this fishing, but whatever, it's kinda fine. And also there is a flanking battle on the left, where blues and red's cavalry is trying to face off. And in the town, blues infantry is getting slowly worn down by the constant fighting. So let's see how both players continue the battle from this position on. We can see how blue employs a tactic called rotating, as he withdraws his damaged units to be replaced by a fully healthy unit. And now, yes, this unit will get blown to pieces on the short term, but in the meanwhile, these units on the back will slowly gain back their organization, as you can see. And they will be ready to send back to the battle. Where is this taking us? Oh my god. I want to see the town, thank you game. Let me watch the battle! No, I want to see this. As you can see, blue is now trying to advance the town. Hold on, I am doing very... Oh, and so now that I don't have to fight the game anymore to watch the battle, we might as well continue. As you see, blue has taken some very aggressive positions, but let me set the time here. The red has a big surplus of troops over here on this flank, and they could technically go around and flank blue on the right, but the reason why they don't want to do that is because blue has a very heavy artillery core over here, and as soon as they will move out over here they will get blown to pieces, so that's the thing. And now it also appears to be that red's cavalry is going back to join the fight. Let's see where that leads us. Blue turns around just in time and holds the advance. Well, yeah, basically, I'm not sure if we can like find that modifier, but cavalry also gains a debuff in the village. Well, yeah, you can see that there is a melee defense, and basically cavalry is unable to like deal melee damage, so it basically gives like an 80% reduction to the normal cavalry damage. So as you can see, that is quite powerful in the situation. That is why you would never want to really charge against defenders, either in a town or like a forest with your cavalry, because you cannot deal any damage to them while they can like shoot you to pieces. So this is mostly it about the battle. And I have one more battle on my table, which is actually a very interesting build, because over here blue relies on cavalry and infantry only, no artillery. This is really far from the usual build. And by the way, at this point on, blue is still like a 1300 ranked player, I believe, and red is a 1750 elo player. So there is a very big skill difference, but blue will exploit the fact that he has this very nice hill down here to his advantage to try to win the battle, and we will see how that will go. Well, blue did kinda charge out with his cavalry in the beginning, but now he felt the wind of the artillery shots, so now he's just pulling back. And he will just sit there waiting for red to make a move. And indeed red will be forced to make a move. They are slowly advancing towards blue's position. Just a couple turns now. They are getting closer and blue is getting more and more excited about this. There you go, they are deploying their infantry. And now the cavalry leaps into action. Let's see what is blue up to. They are just charging straight at the artillery. Not even trying to contest the cavalry battle or to just wear down the infantry. They are going straight for the cannon kill. And that is a rather principled move, but not in this position. Look at how well red garrisons their artillery. You wouldn't think that you can break this defense over here that red has. But miraculously enough cavalry just solves all your problems in this game. Look, you can't really see, but because red's guards were like so overwhelmed, one of their cavalry managed to almost destroy one of red's artillery. And in the coming turns it will actually get obliterated. Look at that. That artillery is by now gone. And over here we have another red artillery. Look how packed it is in between all those blue cavalries. Blue have managed to tear red's formation apart at the right positions, and now he's just taking his artillery apart. He is losing on the flanks with his infantry. He is losing slightly on the flanks, but he is able to deliver a decisive victory in the center. And I have one more thing to show to end it all. And we are back to the terrain modifiers, but this time I'm going to showcase how the terrain type influences your damage range. So if we select this artillery and we just like try to shoot anywhere, let's say over here, you can see that this trapezoid doesn't go all the way to where I want it to go. Alright, let's put it even further away then. And nothing. It just keeps being over there. And the effect is more visible when I go into the short range. You can see how the cannonball can travel one tile without being interrupted. At the second tile it's getting like a very weakened, and by the third one it is no more. It hit too many houses. So yeah, you can see how the cannonball just stops at that point. And the same applies for other artillery that is outside the town. We can try to shoot into the town, but we will never get further than 2 houses into the town, as you can see. And let's just go down on the screen a bit. And surely enough, based on our previous experiment, if I move this artillery closer to the enemy, I should see it taking more damage gradually. So yeah, let's just move it forward by 1 and 1 more. And now if we try to like shoot at it, we should be able to see more damage than for the other one. Let's see. Just one more turn to make it even more obvious. Maybe we just got lucky there. And yeah, I guess one more turn just to make 100% certain, but we can already see the results kinda. If you are at the edge of the forest, you will take more damage from an outside attack than if you were inside, deep inside the forest. And all of this goes back to just the range modifiers. And we can even showcase this for an artillery in the forest. So if I just try to like shoot over there, we can only shoot up to there. And so in the town we were only able to like shoot to like 2 segments. Over here we can actually shoot like up to like 5 segments, which kinda makes sense when we go back to the information. The forest tile absorbs 20% of projectiles every tile, so it should last about 5 tiles long, which we can see over here. While the artillery in the town actually absorbs 60% of projectiles, so it shouldn't go further than 2 tiles. And yeah, that is the experiment that we see. And so yeah, we can even go back to our original map and check out the remaining terrain modifiers. Road gives you speed, nothing else. Are we on a river right now? No. Let's get into the river. If we can. Can we? Yeah, we can. The water gives you a massive attack debuff, a massive defense debuff, and a massive movement debuff. And so like one more thing. If we actually go to like this battle for example, let's say that Red has like a strong position in the town. Blue could take a cavalry force and use the cover of the hills to try to flank Red. And once they cross the river, they can use these patches of trees to even furtherly shield them from damage. And then just charge into the town through the forest. That is, if there isn't any infantry stopping them. Because as we said it earlier, cavalry sucks against infantry in the forest. However, you can definitely use cavalry to quickly move through forests and urban areas to get into like a better position. And as always, try not to get taken apart by a strong cavalry force, because they can be quite effective in this update and you don't want to fight them.